Hi, Ed. How are you?
Hey, how are you doing, Rachel? Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for responding to my voicemail. I appreciate it.
You got it. You
All right.
got it. Yeah.
Hey,
that was a good voicemail, by the way. Very good.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you. As we do, I looked you up on LinkedIn, and thank you for that connection. I appreciate it.
Okay, good.
I saw that you do Pelotonia.
I do. Yeah, this is my 8th year, and I've raised about $43,000 to end cancer. Yeah.
That is so impressive.
Yeah, thanks.
Keep up the good work. My
I'll do
dad
that.
died of cancer, and it's so cool how far they've come since
Oh,
then.
boy,
So
yeah, how it's changed.
very cool.
Great.
Keep it up.
Okay.
I'd like to just ask you a couple questions. When I was looking at the annual report, I saw that your organization's looking to grow sales by about 5%.
We are, yeah. Big goal. That's a big goal, especially in this economy and our industry.
That's a big goal. Something else I saw is that you're looking to increase your sustainability and be a good corporate citizen.
We are. Yeah,
That's
we feel
cool.
good about that.
And also that you are working on having a good environment for your employees.
We do. It's something that we've not paid attention to in the past, and a lot of employee surveys have returned good feedback to us. So I think it's time to pay attention to that. So, yep, we're going to do that.
Great initiatives. I appreciate them. So can you share with me, please, how do your specific goals align with the corporate goals?
Yeah, so we're at about 5% as a goal, but I think in terms of what we've been achieving, we're trending around 2%. So there's a shortfall there that I believe we desperately need to make up. And part of what I see happening this year is just upping the game of our sales force. And I'm talking about both effectiveness, but also efficiency. I think that's real important.
Okay, I would agree with that. So today you're looking at a 2% and you need to get to 5%,
We
so
do.
you're looking at that 3%.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about effectiveness and efficiency, can you share with me what skills you see that maybe some people have today and other people don't, so there's a gap between?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that I've observed myself on some of the calls I've made with our people, and certainly my managers have told me this, is we really don't handle objections well. We seem to be quite defensive when we receive one, and I think we're leaving money on the table. I think that we awkwardly handle objections in a way that gives the upper hand to our customers. So I'd like to see an improvement in that skill set, handling objections. And I think part of that, Rachel, is listening. Part of that is paying attention. So anything you could do to build a better skill set around the listening aspect of that, I think would be helpful. The other thing that I've noticed, and I'm afraid it's a result of being too successful in product training, is we tend to do a lot of telling, and we don't do a lot of questioning. It's almost as if we already know what your problems are. So I'd be real interested in perhaps building a skill set around asking better questions, and maybe even more importantly, what do you do with the answers that you get, okay?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and that'll help us, I really believe that'll help us fill that shortfall, because we got good people. I don't think they have the skill set. If we could have some common approach that addresses things like handling objections and better questioning, if you could do that for us, I think we'd be well down the road towards closing that gap between the 2 and the 5%.
Well, that sounds perfect. So I've got a couple things there that I am confident that Kuru has a solution for.
Okay.
So basically, overall, what I heard is that you've got a need to get to a 5% growth, and today you're at 3%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I also hear is the things that are causing that are you need an improved sales common language, which really includes how to handle objections efficiently.
Yes.
And also how to ask better questions.
Yes, well done.
Am I on track?
You certainly are. You take good notes, and you also represent them back to me. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Well, doing some homework ahead of time based on what your goals are and you conferring them today, I'm certain that Crew has the perfect solution for you.
Wonderful.
We have a program called Dimensions of Professional Selling.
Okay.
The two very important features that we have of this program that are going to give you both the common language and also helping with objection handling and exploratory is the first one is called the bonding process. It's LAIR.
Okay.
And you wanted to really focus on listening, and that is the very first part of this.
Okay.
So we teach sales professionals how to not react quickly, but really listen, acknowledge what the other person said so that they feel heard, and you're building a bond through that relationship. And then also this works towards your asking better questions. We teach them how to ask open-ended questions that the customer knows that we're not trying to sell them something, but truly understand their perspective.
Okay, and just so I understand, an open-ended question is what? Because I know we've had a little bit of training with some of our groups in the past. An open-ended question is what?
Great question. So asking a question with maybe prefacing it with how, what, or where in front of it.
Got it.
So instead of do you have budget, what budget do you have?
Perfect, thank you. Okay.
Great example of how to open up a question.
Yeah.
How, what, or where in front opens that up. So LAIR, the objection handling, will give you that model, listen, acknowledge, explore, and then they go back up to listen, acknowledge, explore again, and when they're ready, when they truly understand it from the customer's perspective, they're able to respond.
Okay.
And what you'll get, the benefit of that is that that 5% growth, because your sales professionals are handling objections professionally.
That sounds good. That sounds really good.
Perfect. Now, the second part of this is the exploratory process, where we help a customer understand where they are, and then also we understand where they want to be. So a sales professional's true job, their only job, is to uncover where a customer is today and where they want to be and close the difference between that.
I like that.
Yeah, so we have a simple process. You have a picture, the model.
Yep.
All of our models give you that simple sales process.
Okay.
Think about an F. Bottom line is where they are today. Top line is where they want to be. The difference is a dotted line. They close the gap.
I like that.
Yep.
And it sounds simple. And I think
so
that's
simple.
good.
And truly, they can ask 1 or 2 questions and get the answers rather than asking 20 questions and the customer feels like an interrogator. They ask good, solid questions that benefit the customer.
Okay.
And what you get by that is you have a process that gets you to be able to ask better questions, and that gets you that 5% growth.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
You know, I really like what I hear. I must say I have one concern that looms always when I start thinking about providing skill development, and that is the length of training. How long typically is one of your workshops?
A typical workshop is 2.5 days.
Wow. I got to be honest with you, 2.5 days to pull our guys out of the field, I worry about losing momentum. We're already behind 3%, and I'm just not sure, Rachel, that's something we could consider. Yeah, I think that could be a problem for us.
Well, it's important that you're comfortable with your time out of the field. Can you share with me what your thoughts are about how much time you could devote to training?
That's a good question. I'm not saying that totally I would never do the 2.5 days, but in the past we've tried to keep things to maybe about a day. And that way people come in, they learn something, and they go right out and use it the very next day. For a lot of our teams, they're regionally located, so they don't even have to have hotel expenses as part of that. We just give them perhaps a lunch, maybe a dinner if we wanted to do that, but it keeps the expense of training low. So I did kind of have in mind maybe a day here. It doesn't mean I wouldn't be open to that, but that's what my experience and my thought process was. What do you think about that?
A day is easy to work with.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. So we have a program that is, it's modularized.
Oh.
So actually the way our program's set is day 1 is all about the art of selling, interpersonal relationships.
All right.
So in day 1, you would be able to handle that layer, the bonding process, and then they would come back and they would be able to go through day 2 at another time, which would be the exploratory and the presentation process.
Okay.
So because you're having regional trainings, can you share with me how often your people, or how long you want as a rollout for this?
You mean for the total training?
The total training?
Yeah, if we could do that within anywhere from 6 months to a year, I think that would be effective.
Okay.
I would defer to some guidance by you as we get a more detailed outline here of when we should do this, but I'd be accepting of that. Again, this goal of 5%, we got to start moving towards that, but I think if we could do something within that time frame, that'd probably be acceptable to us.
Okay, well, that sounds good. And then we also have the extra half a day. So when would be a time to get in that extra half a day? Would you want to do it at the time of the second training, or would you have to have a third day?
I think for now, let's say we would try and fit it in, because I think I could accept that. I think I could convince my guys they should do that. Okay, so maybe
perfect.
1 day is what we're talking about, and then Dan, got it.
All right.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me too. So in order to hit that 5% quickly and get you going on that, when do you think we should schedule that first training?
We've got actually a quarterly meeting coming up that I'd be willing to carve out. If you can keep it to a day. We usually get together for about 3 days, and some of this will be product training, and maybe we can talk about how to weave some of that in.
Oh, that's a great
idea. But let's do that. That's coming up within about a month and a half.
Okay.
Could we work towards that?
Absolutely, month and a
Perfect.
half, and then, so we're at June, July, August for the first training, and then
Yeah.
how long before the second training?
Let's shoot for before the end of the year.
Okay.
I think I could not only get budget for it, it's important to me. What you've outlined sounds like it's critical to hit that percentage. Yeah.
September, October?
Let's do October.
October
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
Halloween.
That's, all
Yeah.
right. So we have a commitment for August and October,
Good.
around the 15th of the month
Yep.
or so? Okay.
That sounds great.
All right, so I'll get with you on the dates of your
Okay.
upcoming training, and then we'll follow up with an October 15th or around the 15th. That week.
Fantastic.
Great.
Thank you so much.
You're
I'm really
welcome.
looking forward to this.
Thank you.
You bet.